Hello everybody, and welcome to another Kev Play. This is Kevin, and we are on part 6 of Spyro the Dragon, Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Last time we finished up the Magic Crafters world, we beat Blowhard, which is kind of a blowhard of a boss. And now we're in the Beastmaker's world, and probably one of the more darker worlds aesthetically. Howdy do, Pelpa Pig. Yeah, so let's get into it. Terrace Village. So the Game Awards came and went, and it was okay, I guess, you know. I guess I should have, and by the way, I never knew this, but I never knew, and correct me if I'm wrong, Activision Blizzard owns Activision. Not, I always thought it was the other way around. I thought Activision owned Activision Blizzard. It was kind of meh. But yeah, so they weren't there for, certain reasons, which, we can all name, being that there's a whole lawsuit going on because of harassment and discrimination and impropriety and all that. I was disappointed that Jeff Keighley, he addressed, he made this very blanket statement, very vague, statement where he's like, we denounce this kind of behavior in our industry, blah 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 blah, but he never named any company. He never named Activision or Ubisoft or anybody. And to me, it's just it's pathetic. It's because he'll go out of his way to call out Konami when Hideo Kojima was banned from the Game Awards because of legal reasons or whatever. Because he has no financial ties to Konami. He knows that he can buddy with Hideo Kojima because he's the real talent. So and people used to treat that it was such a heroic moment that Jeff Keighley called him out, but really now compared to what's actually going on, to something where that was just about creative differences and legal BS. This issue now having to do with sexual harassment against women in the workplace, or discrimination, or pay disparities and all that, and all that, all this unfair, unjust stuff, and he'll just completely kind of just play the safe way, play the safe card, and just kind of denounce it in general, but he won't actually name anybody. He'll say oh, we all know the headlines. To me, it's just pathetic. It's imagine if the Oscars didn't call out, the host of the Oscars didn't call out Harvey Weinstein by name. Say what you will about award shows, because they are pretty much always tone deaf, and award shows in general are kind of just unnecessary and stupid, and I mean, it's good to honor the people behind the scenes. Obviously there's actors you want to kind of pay tribute to, but there's a lot of writers and directors and composers and technical stunt guys, all these people behind the scenes that make these projects come to life. They should get their kind of day in the sun. I agree. I mean, I wish there was I wish there was an award show for the plumbers union, because you need good plumbing, and nobody ever pats them on the back except for Bill. But I digress. Basically, what I'm trying to say is even though award shows can be very preachy and they can bring politics into it and can be very just kind of a slog and kind of grating and annoying or whatever, at least like shows like the Oscars or the Emmys or the Golden Globes, at least they call out whatever bullshit they actually believe in. Whereas with Jeff Keighley, he tries to make this thing like the Oscars of the video game industry, but it was just like 4 hours of ads. And not even just like, I understand like you need to sell and you need to kind of like pay for the show, but like it was just shameless plugging of like Google Play and even a lot of like non-video game stuff that's in there. It's just for me it's a bloated mess, that show. It's fun for the reveals, like, you know, but it's just like it has such an identity crisis. It doesn't know what it wants to be. That's why we didn't get Wumpa League or Tony. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I could see Activision just like releasing it on their own if they wanted to. If they wanted to show like anything for Wumpa League, Spyro 4, Tony Hawk. If it wasn't for new game announcements, it would have been dead. And you know what? It's just like, if you want to make it like a game reveal show, make it a game reveal show. But like even the award show part of it, it's like they give like the awards like they give them like 2 seconds to like to like reward them. Like most of the time, like there'll be like three or four categories that he'll just rattle off really fast, and they don't even cut away to like any of like the people that were involved in that game or whatever project. There's no like limelight. Like nobody gets the spotlight of and that's the whole point of the award show. Like, you're supposed to be celebrating games and the people who make these games and bring it to life, and and I feel like it's just so fan servicey, where it's all about the gamers. It's like, oh, let's just get the game reveals out. I'd rather them just do one thing or another. Honestly, if they wanted to do a show where it was just no reveals and they were actually honoring the developers, or you know, and giving out actual awards and giving them time to give speeches, or you know, have their platform, have their day in the sun, I would prefer that, because it's just like, I don't know, it just irks me. And then if you want to do a game reveal show, just do that on a separate day. Like this day of age, you can literally have like a non big huge production value show. You can just like have kind of like a direct, or like a big state of play type thing, like not just for Sony but for like all those games or whatever, like kind of like how Summer Game Fest works. So, you know, like, I don't know if it wasn't, but yeah, honestly the best part of TGA was the Sonic movie. Honestly, I'm not a big Sonic fan, and I know there's a lot of controversy with the first movie. Like they changed like the way he looks and everything, and that kind of got, and there's kind of a meme to that first movie. But that second movie, like as a non-fan looking in at that movie, I gotta give it props. It was actually pretty impressive. Like it seemed like a really cool, like if I was into that and I was, you know, if I had that history of Sonic, I would have been very excited for that. And Jim Carrey's amazing, so I thought he like you know, brought a lot of spirit to the first one. I didn't see the first one. I never, like, you know, had a reason to go, but I like that he commits to the role of the villain. You don't need to be a Sonic fan to watch. Yeah, I'm sure you don't. Like, commercially I know about Sonic, and I've played some Sonic games back in the past, but I just don't really have like a deep nostalgia for it or anything. The only thing that, like, so last episode when I was playing this, I said that there's 4 things that I would at least like to see, and 3 of those things were either Tony Hawk, Spyro 4, or Wumpa League. But the 4th thing I said was something to do with the Matrix, and I sort of got that, at least. It wasn't it's not a full game, but I played it, I can't believe that it was like a surprise reveal that they like were releasing it that night. I played it that night. It was a good like 10 minutes of like a kind of like an on rails like really cool tech demo, like really realistic looking, very tongue in cheek, like with like kind of being meta and with having like Carrie Ann Moss and Keanu Reeves, kind of like playing like kind of like reliving the role of Neo and Trinity, but like kind of also being aware that they're in this like marketing campaign for it. It's really good, and honestly, like it's a good tech demo. The game, it's like the actual like so the on rails part's probably the most game part of it, but then after that part, they bring you into this huge open world, like the huge like city, and there's really nothing to do, but it's really a marvel just to like kind of like just like drive around or like because there's so many cars and people on that are generated into the world at once that I've never seen anything like it in all my experience playing a video game. Even though it's considered an experience, it's called Matrix Awakens and Matrix Experience, I think. I've still like even like if you think about like Spider-Man, like all like the traffic that happens in the city and like the people, that is like a itty bitty fraction compared to what was happening all at once in the city of this game, of this experience. And the physics, the engine, like the collision when you crash your car into somebody, or not into somebody, but into like another car, it has like this real physics engine where like the bumpers crumple, like the body of your car like kind of like crinkles up and like, you know, like almost as if you were in a real car crash. It was kind of like I spent like another hour playing the game just to see how, just driving around and testing out like the physics of the game, of like the Unreal Engine 5, and it's really incredible, and it makes me think of how a GTA 6 would look if Rockstar like really takes advantage of like the PS5's, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X's like capabilities. Graphically, like it's just like one of like the most impressive looking things I've ever had on any of these I've ever seen on any of like the PS4 or the PS5 so far. Like, so I almost and also I kind of wish that it was a game. Like, I feel like a lot of people are saying this too. Like, they're like, oh my god, I just want a Matrix game now. Like, this would be incredible. So I hope like the Matrix Resurrections film does really good in the box office, and then maybe there's a lot more hype train going on, and then we'll like they can expand on like the world they created with this title, because I'd be totally down. I would buy it in a second, like day one, if it existed. But you should download it because it's free. It's free on PS5, and it's just worth it for me. I've never experienced anything like it. Like, in terms of like the fidelity and the graphics and the physics. Like, that's really what was impressive to me. And it is just fun because, like, as a Matrix fan, that's just another boost for me too. So of course I'm gonna love it. But yeah, you should definitely try it because it's just like, it's really like the tech, like the actual like game part of it's only like 10 minutes, and then the rest of it's just like kind of just like being in a big sandbox open world and kind of just I don't know, just finagling around with the controls and like the engine basically. But other than that, I mean, I know they had some cool reveals. Like, I'm not really a big Star Wars guy, but that new Star Wars game I know a lot of people are excited for. I think they showed that Elden Ring game that a lot of people have been anticipating. That's stuff that... and Xbox had a big showing with Hellblade 2. Uh, so that's good at least. I mean, I'm glad that Xbox is kind of starting to like get a game out, like a game that actually looks like it could hold its own against one of Sony's intellectual properties. But because that, you know, more competition for Sony means everyone steps their game up. So I hope I hope Xbox thrives with that game. What do you think of the winner of It Takes Two? I actually like the idea. Now here's the thing. I played Ratchet and Clank. I think Returnal was nominated also. I played a little of that. If I had to choose between the two, I'd say Ratchet and Clank was the game I enjoyed more. But It Takes Two was also on my radar for a while because I did play Joseph Fares's first what was it? A Way Out, that came his first like Hazelight big game or whatever, which is a co-op prison break game where you and another player are two prisoners and you're basically trying to break out of prison. And there's a whole story to it that's very cool, and like the gameplay changes as you progress through the story and stuff. It's really a good game. It's meant to be like a couch co-op game, just like It Takes Two is. And you can also play it like online co-op, I think. But yeah, It Takes Two. I kind of like, from what I've heard, it's supposed to be a great platformer. It's actually supposed to be like surprisingly not just like a novel. Like, because I know like the story of it is supposed to be about like exploring the theme of like divorce, or like a couple that has broken up or whatever, and then they have to work together to kind of like, you know, become like, because they get turned into dolls or something like that. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I know you can play it online, though. Like, you can play it with another person online, and one of the cool things with that game, the same thing with A Way Out, is if you buy the game once, you can let an online friend have the game for free, like an activation key for free. So, like Joseph Fares went out of his way to make sure that people don't have to buy the game twice in order to play online. So like basically anybody on your friends list, if you have the game, or if they have the game, they can give you the activation key to play co-op, and you basically, like, it's more accessible that way. It's a game that I feel like I might get down the road because I like platformers. I think it's a cute game. I think it has a cool, daring, like, bold idea to it, and I enjoy it. I feel like Joseph Fares is a very interesting auteur developer. You know, he's definitely made famous from his fuck the Oscars moment in the Game Awards a few years back, and back then that's what the game he was promoting was A Way Out. So we got Claude here.
Watch out, Spyro. The Norks in these pods have discovered the power of electricity, and it really stings.
Oh. But honestly, I think it's a good win. I'm glad that a game like that won instead of Deathloop. And it's nothing against Deathloop the game, but like I do have kind of a bias with how much marketing happened for that game, to the point where like I was just sick of it. I was sick of hearing about it. It was the same damn trailer like every time, like with the same like narration of like, oh, ooh, I'm this cool guy and we're gonna go to Deathloop and try different ways and it's gonna be crazy, and you know, just like it was just too much. They were like shoving it in our face for too long, and I feel like it's probably an interesting game. I heard it got great reviews, but that's a game I'm glad that some attention was taken away from it, for a game that's kind of a little bit more unconventional. So yeah, I like that Joseph Fares got kind of his moment there. But again, it's like he was on stage for like 2 seconds. I know like he gave a nice short and sweet speech, but I'm pretty sure that there was like a wrap it up sign or something going on because they just want to fit more ads into this show. Even though it was the last thing, but it was just like the amount of ads in the Game Awards is just insane. It was like 4 hours of commercial. And it's like that's okay for a guy like people like us who were like expecting like, you know, what's the next reveal or whatever. But for people like say like Giancarlo Esposito, who was in like Far Cry 6, and he's like, you know, best known for playing Gus Fring in Breaking Bad or in Better Call Saul or whatever, or Mandalorian, like, so like to see all these like non-video game industry guys come in and they're kind of like they're participating in the event, and they like, I just feel bad for the fact that he had to sit through 4 hours of video game commercials for what he probably thought was going to be an award show, when it really wasn't. It was more of just like this like spoiled like hype train for gamers. Like I don't know, like I just felt the whole thing was a little cringeworthy. I feel like Jeff Keighley needs to really figure out how to do that show better. Oh my god. Other than that though, what else is there to say? Oh yeah, I managed to platinum Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. All I needed to do is find all the Kreger bears, which I managed to do. What I like is that with PlayStation trophies, you can see the trophy progress like out of the game. So like you can like go to like a trophy card and see that you've collected this many Kreger bears, whereas in-game it wouldn't tell you that. So that would, like, I like that they kind of give you, the PlayStation kind of gives you a way to see that you're missing, like how much you're missing, without me being like, oh, I had to guess, like I basically have to go through every level again and like double check that I got every single bear. So that was that. I do kind of still wish that I could have went through like a New Game Plus to unlock some of like the more of like the weapons and have that like included into. I mean, I did collect every weapon, I think, but I didn't level them all up because it wasn't required to do it for the platinum. Which is, I guess it's like kind of a weird thing to say, because like I shouldn't really be playing for the meta game of the trophies. I should be playing because I enjoy it. But I guess I guess trophies kind of like give me a little bit more incentive to keep playing. Okay, so this dragon, if I remember, he should be lounging on his like side, if it goes by the PS1 version. Cyprin. There we go.
Good job, Spyro. One day you'll be able to tell all the dragons about your amazing adventures.
Sure, but what I'd really like to do is get out of this swamp.
Cyprin's the most chill dragon that we've ever come across. I'm thinking of getting the platinum on every Ratchet and Clank game. That's going to be quite the feat, because like the PS3 ones require a lot more grinding, or the PS2 remaster ones that I've been doing. I still haven't managed to platinum them yet. I know I can if I just give it more time, but it definitely takes multiple playthroughs to kind of like get like 10 million bolts or whatever it is, and they make it easier through every playthrough to like kind of like get bolts, like the currency, quicker and more efficiently. So at least there's that. But yeah, I'm still working on that. I forget that these levels in Beastmaker's world are there's a lot more going on than you would think, because I think they're like, how many gems do I have to get in this world? 400? I think it starts getting up to like the 500 gems range. Maybe that's the next homeworld. I had to use a cheat to get 1 million bullets on Ratchet 1. Oh yeah, I think I remember you saying that. Yeah, I still haven't managed to really, like, use any cheats for it. If I can avoid it. See, this level really makes you, like, run around in circles more, because you basically have to, like, get back onto the platform, go back down, get back up so you can get back across to the bridge, like... I was like, oh shit, this guy's gonna... Oh no. There we go. I was like, oh yeah, that guy's gonna make the ground get electrified. Are you a Spider-Man fan? I'm not, like, because I know is it No Way Home or A Way Home or whatever it is coming out soon. I know a lot of people are hyped for that because it might be like bringing back like the Tobey Maguire cast, rumored or whatever. But yeah, I'm not really like too big of a like obsessive fan with it. Like I'm not really looking into it. I enjoyed the game, and I platinum like the game in Miles Morales, and I enjoyed it, and I started to have more of a fondness for the franchise more after having played it. But yeah, I'm still not 100% there. Like right now, like my biggest thing that I'm anticipating is the new Matrix movie. Yeah, it's definitely. I know that a lot of people are very much looking forward to that movie. Oh, I thought I had my hover ability. Now, is that movie gonna... Is that like the first of its like trilogy, or you know what I mean? Like, is it a continuation of a trilogy that's going on, or is it like a fresh new Spider-Man? Like, because I know they had the Amazing Spider-Man series, which I didn't really, which I also slept on. So I don't know if it's a part of that or not. Alright, so before I go this way, I know I had to make a glide. And it's kind of... The way this platform's kind of like designed is kind of hinting that, especially with these arrows here a bit and this little platform jutting out, kind of hints that we need to go this way. And we already know that there's stuff on top of these like buildings over here, so let's give it a leap of faith. There we are. It's the third okay. The third Tom Holland movie. Okay, see, now I can understand why it's really getting a lot of... because that would be cool if they could marry both the Tom Holland trilogy with the Tobey Maguire trilogy, in a way. I don't know how that would work, but I'd be interested to see how they would do such a thing. Fireworks. I wish when you go into look mode that they would get rid of that thing that says exit look. Like to me it's the original PS1 game, it didn't have that, and it just made it more immersive. It just made it feel like, okay, it's just an intuitive thing to do. I'm looking around as Spyro, but now it just looks like I'm like in some like tool mode or something. Like it's like more of a tool now. Like I don't know. It was more organic to me in the first. There's little things like that that just kind of take you out of it a bit. And again, I've said it once in the beginning, but I just hate that you can't. That you're locked. You have to press. You're supposed to be able to hold down triangle and look around, and if you let go, it goes out. But if I let go, they have it basically where I have to toggle it, and I don't like that. If there was a way to turn that off, I would. Because I used to use that as kind of like for combat. To turn yourself around real quick like this, but now it's like I have to press it twice. And I don't know. It was more. It felt more fluid in the original PS1 game. All right, so we should have all the gems by now once we get to the end here. I also don't like the idea that I can't use my flame as in this whirlwind because it just locks you into this animation, whereas before they gave more control to the player with the PS1 version. You can just use your flame if you wanted to, even though you didn't need to, but it's little things like that that I can't help but notice. Alright, there we go. And we're all set. Also, I've been playing Crash 4. It's a great game to play during a podcast, like listen to a podcast, or like I said, like music or whatever, or whatever. Mostly I'll do it like while I listen to a podcast, and it's coming along. I'm getting like more gems. I think I got like last weekend I got like 10 gems. And like I know I got another perfect relic, like insanely perfect relic. So now I think I'm in. I have all the insanely perfect relics for the first like 12 levels. So right now I'm in like that the dragon like Akuna Wa section. I think the next one I have to go for is Dragon On. So it's coming along. I'm still waiting to see my 91% roll over to 92%, but I don't know why it's not. I feel like I'm getting all these like collectibles. Excuse me, collectibles, and it's just like not turning over to 92%. I feel it because I'm close. You can get the platinum relics by just walking. Can you? No way. Oh, you can, like without using the triple spin feature? Because if I can do that without having to do that, that'd be nice. I'd rather just learn the level and walk it. That's why I wish they just gave you a run feature. I know like a lot of people are like a lot of fans are kind of divided whether they like the run feature or whether they prefer the spin, but that's good. And honestly, that's a little forgiving because the levels are just twice as long now. Oh, Misty Bog, I forgot about this one. Okay, here we are. See if I can get, I want to get a nice frame grab of this guy. I'm gonna need this chicken that he's... Oh! Thanks. I would recommend, but it's totally... Yeah, like, I can see myself still using the triple spin in spots where it's definitely not gonna kill me. Like in safe spots. But, you know, if I have to get used to triple spin, I'll try it, but I feel like, I'm really just saving those time relics for last. Well, these things used to freak me out as a kid. Some guy made a whole Twitter thread by just walking. I mean, that's good. Thank God for the internet, really. And I'm also still going through like I'm collecting the hidden gems really without looking up. Like I'm really like trying to find them on my own, and I'm managing to do so. And surprisingly, I know a lot of them are hard to find, but I'm managing. There's still a lot of hidden gems though that are throwing me for a loop. Oh, these frogs are the worst. You have to be really quick with your reaction time to kill these things. There we go. Okay, there might be occasional slide spinning here and there. Yeah, I imagine. And then I can manage. Man, oh man, though, I missed the run feature. For me, it was just like it was funner for me. Like I like that you can run. It was still challenging. It didn't have to be this whole thing where you have to press square a bunch of times, a million times throughout the level just to get it through. Oh. I got you. He didn't kill me. I do like the triples. Well, the thing with the triple spin that I don't like is that it takes away from the Death Tornado spin, which I really liked in Crash Warped. And the fact that they kind of just like take that away from you. For me, the Death Tornado spin was like the best secret like move that you get in the game. It made the game so much. It changed the game for me. Do you have any platinum relics? I don't. I have like honestly, I only have like 6 relics right now, and like I think 2 are gold and 4 are sapphire because I really haven't really like put any time into it at all. I figured I'm just gonna try to go for the gems first, then go for insanely perfects. Still have to finish one more flashback tape. I'm on the last flashback tape. I have 20 platinums for that, but I don't have the last one yet. No, I don't. Yeah, like, time relics I just don't have. I really have not put any time into them at all. Because it really takes a time. Like, you really need to master the level and sit down with it. And right now, I'm not even, like... I don't feel like mastering the level yet until, like, I've at least, like, managed to get the gems, you know? I still have, like... I think I have, like, 10 or so more regular gems to get, and then, like, maybe, like, 15 or so inverted gems. Roscoe.
Be on the lookout for attack frogs. They are cold-blooded killers.
Attack frogs?
And this used to be such a nice swamp.
Let's take these guys out. I will. I made a lot of progress last weekend with it. And other than that, in terms of the end of this year, like, video game-wise, like, there's really nothing I'm anticipating other than next year's, like, maybe Horizon Forbidden West. But I've kind of trained myself not to get, like, hyped with these games yet until I've actually, like, played them, start playing them, because... I don't know. Excuse me. Like, I did manage to platinum Horizon Zero Dawn a lot, like, back in, like, 2017. So I'm not really in that mood to play Horizon, but I know the game's gonna be great. So when it comes out, I'm ready to play it, but, I think it's in February, though. I think 2021 is gonna be a better year for video games I think there was a lot of like a lot of stuff that kind of just like went, that just got delayed or just, you know, there was a lot of halts during this year because of last year, you know, because of COVID and everything from last year. What's a hype game that disappointed you? A game that I was hyped about that I got disappointed by. I'm trying to think. Oh, first of all, I should not have run through this part. It's like the most dangerous part in the entire game. All these frogs. I guess I'll get back to them. Let me think about this question.
Thanks for releasing me. It seems like I've been trapped in here since I was your age.
Oh, no.
Why? I remember,
Gotta go.
Let's think. A game that disappointed me. I'm trying to think. Let me look. Hold on a sec. I was just perusing my video game collection just to spark an idea, and honestly, I don't think I can really think of anything that really was like, oh, like I was excited for this, and I mean, if I was to think of, you know what, maybe Killzone Shadowfall, because I really love the idea, like, or really Killzone. After Killzone 1, really. Because there was a gap of time where I didn't have the PS3 because of how expensive it was when it first launched. So, I kind of missed out on the Killzone 2, like, debut. So by the time I got a PS3, Killzone 2 and 3 were already out. And, I don't know, back in Killzone 1, I had such a huge imagination for where the series could go. And I feel like Killzone 2 and 3... didn't really deliver on the way, because it was supposed to be kind of a competitor to Halo in a way, and it didn't really deliver on that note for me. The way they were, like, I don't know, like I know it's not supposed to be like a copy of Halo. It's its own game. It's a more grittier game. It's using more like human-based weapons mixed with like alien weapons or whatever. But I don't know, like the story just seemed to be thrown together like very quickly, and I feel like I feel like when I was a kid, when the first game came out, I just had a greater imagination for what they could do with the series. It had so much potential, and I feel like they kind of squandered it in a way. I know Killzone 2 is usually hailed as like the best game in the series. In a lot of ways it is. But for me, it just I kind of fell off the series as a big gushing fan once I got into like once I finally got a PS3 and I got it, and I was just like, yeah, this is all right. And then of course like Killzone Shadowfall was kind of just like a very mediocre shooter, and it didn't really do anything much more, even though it kind of span off from like the series and had the opportunity to do its own, you know, start fresh or whatever, and it really did nothing with it. So those games, I guess, are kind of like that for me. Also, SOCOM 4, another PS3 game I got, like one of the first PS3 games I got. It especially since it was from Zipper Interactive, which were the original developers for the PS2 games, so SOCOM 1 through 3 and Combined Assault. I loved those games as a kid. But SOCOM 4 just felt... It started to copy a lot of things that Call of Duty does. It started to become a lot more watered down in its presentation and what you can do. And, like, the matchmaking and, like... I miss the era of lobbies. I miss, like, where... I don't know, you had more control over the character and more over, like, the weapons and everything and all this stuff. And, like, the level design was better. And I just feel like SOCOM 4 just, like... It tried to copy Call of Duty or something and became more arcadey, and it just... There's a reason why that Zipper Interactive went out of business. And it's a shame because I think a SOCOM game was so... Like, I would love a proper SOCOM game if it ever came back. But those pretty much are like our disappointments, especially coming from Sony. Got Zeke.
Thank you for releasing me.
That's all you got for me, Zeke? Whoa! I love the jump scares in this game. Oh! You know what? I'd rather him scare me and kill the frogs, though. I'll take that. Oh no, he's coming after me! You've played Halo, right? Yeah, Halo's... like I said, my friend was very gracious enough to give me an Xbox 360, so the first 4 games, and only 4 games I own, are the first 4 Halo games. But even back when I was a kid, I used to go over to his house and we would play co-op for hours. Or play like the multiplayer for hours. Like, so we played every single campaign except for 4. We because you know by the time 4 came out, we kind of just like we grew up and like he moved away and you know, life went on or whatever, and we're still friends, but you know, life kind of takes over. So like it was cool to kind of like play 4, the 4th version. So if I had to choose between Halo or Killzone, I still have to go... I would actually, to be honest, I would go with Halo. Like, when I got Killzone 1 back on PS2, I remember reading about it in a Game Informer a PlayStation magazine, and it was saying it was marketed as the Halo killer, and it's going to be this new shooter or whatever. And for the PS2, there was no exclusive first-person shooters, especially one with such a kind of like daring, like a daring premise, I guess, or the kind of like a very specific mythology that it has, and it deals with space. It's not exactly like, you know, shooting aliens. You're more just shooting. You're more like going up against an enemy. Like aliens in the sense of just like human aliens, but I remember when I first got Killzone, I kind of had no choice but to compare it to Halo. Like I was like, okay, this is like PlayStation's Halo basically, and this is what it's doing differently. It's not doing this as well as Halo in certain parts, but it's actually doing some things that Halo doesn't do at the same time, like being able to choose a different character that has a different playstyle, or just the way it commits to kind of like real-world historic wartime events, like D-Day and stuff like that, and kind of incorporates into the level design or gameplay. I always liked that, whereas Halo was more kind of going to a beat of its own drum, kind of being kind of not just being a first-person shooter, but kind of being kind of a genre shifter in terms of like, I think like it would have kind of like this like huge, massive, expansive feel to it, where as if you were playing like a strategy game, if that makes sense. But I also always loved that Halo had vehicles, which Killzone never really had.
I'll tell you what to do with those creatures.
Bubba.
Smash them, Spyro. Stamp them out and squish them and squash them.
How about charge them and flame them? We are dragons after all.
But yeah, I think I enjoy Halo on a more cinematog, like even like it makes you feel something too when you play Halo. Whereas I don't really feel as invested in a Killzone campaign. I think Killzone 1's campaign I felt the most invested out of all of them, and because it was more of a simple adventure and it like focused more on the characters, and they're kind of like their relationships or whatever, and like how they had to pull themselves together and stuff, and I always was drawn to that. Whereas with Halo, Master Chief is just an infinitely like interesting character to me. Like he's very compelling. He has a kind of like an enigma to him. I used to read the books. I have the books still. I think I read like the first 3 books, which goes into like Halo Reach and explores a little bit more of the first game, I think, in more depth. It's been a while since I read them, obviously, but yeah, I always liked Halo, like the music, the cinematography in game, like that was always more appealing to me, I think. Yeah, like Halo, like it deserves the hype that it gets. It's not just gets a lot of attention because it's like an Xbox exclusive that's a big popular exclusive. It has merit to it. And I almost kind of wish that I can play Halo Infinite, because I know that game is I didn't have a Sparks with me, because I know that game is very it's getting praised for its gameplay a lot, and I think even a little bit for its campaign. The campaign's getting a lot of good reviews. I know the multiplayer though is like really like shining for a lot of people. It has just a lot of fun, like using the grapple and like being able to grapple like vehicles and stuff, and like or like destructible objects and stuff like that, and the way you can incorporate your weapon, like, you know, like use your weapons. It's supposed to be a lot of fun, and it looks fun. This should be everything, I hope. No. Looks like I'm gonna have to do a little spelunking. Maybe it's over here. I know there's like a hidden area behind one of these. And remember, I'm not using sparks. It's gotta be around here. Yep. Okay, still not all of them. Let's see. It's this high grass too that kind of makes it harder to look for everything. It's got to be around here somewhere. Unless it's on one of these, no. What am I missing? 486 out of 500, so... Fans are remaking Enter the Dragonfly and Reignited. I heard about it, I saw that. I didn't really look at it though, but that's cool. It would have been nice though if we could have got a proper remake. With like, you know, kind of how like Nitro Fueled basically got like... I mean, not Nitro Fuel, like Nitro Kart basically got reinvigorated with like CTR's physics and engine, and you know, like the improved graphics. It would be cool if we were able to get that for Spyro. Oh, here we are. still missing some. Okay, there's a 10-piece or 2 5-pieces. Or maybe 5 2-pieces. Oh, here we are. There we are. Misty Bog complete. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. It looks interesting. I know it's been getting a lot of attention lately. Now that's because wasn't Spyro Reignited Trilogy brought to PC? Because I imagine that's how they're doing it, is through like the modding community there. Oh, this board died before I even got here. How'd that happen? What could have killed it? That's weird. This board just dropped dead. It like had a heart attack or something. That's not good. You can't have enemies just like dying of natural causes. That just makes it more sad. Let's see if I can go... I think there's a flight level in here. Let's see if I can knock that out. Wild flight? Let's try to knock this out in the little time we have here. Here we go. Oh, this one. This one always takes multiple tries for me. Oh my god. I'm all over the place. Let me start it over, because I know that this one is like... Maybe it's... I have multiple tries when I try to go for the skill point, which is like a time trial. More of a time trial. Let's just try to see what I can do. Yeah, I'm all over the place with this one. I went the wrong way. Let's try it again. Alright, not a bad run. Alright, planes are done. I got chests to my right. Chests are done. We'll go back out. Got some time to deal with here. Let's go upstream. Against the boats. I feel like these arcs are gonna be the bane of my existence here. Alright, let's keep it going. Boats here. I feel like I did this right. Indecisive, indecisive. I'll be back for you. Let's go back upstream. Got 19 seconds. Try to find this guy. I think... there he is. Beautiful. Just in time. I really winged it. Hehe. Alright, we got all that. That's good. Because I felt like I was spending a lot of time on 2 levels there. There was Terrace Village, Misty Bog, but admittedly they're longer levels now. There's a lot more to do in these levels in terms of exploration. So at least we got that flight level out of the way. I think next time we're gonna be... I'm assuming treetops. But I could be wrong. Because I'm gonna save the metalhead for last. Yeah, I think treetops will be our next one. Let's see where we are. Okay. Let me just make sure this. So there's treetops and there's Metalhead. I think that's it, right? Like for this. Yeah, it's usually like. Yeah, okay. Treetops and. Well, some. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Well, Pelpa Pig, it's been a pleasure. For everyone out there, if you would like to like, comment, or subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. In the meantime, stay healthy, keep a clear head, keep on gaming, and there's some other one I usually say, which I'm always forgetting now. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next time on another Kev Play. Alright, peace out, guys. Ah! Dope.